Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good night, people. Good night, people. We are here.
Chad,
We
you
are
muted.
back.
Chad,
Mute,
you
but we
with
back.
that. Good night.
Chad mute. The treated child is business that don't want to hear the opinions of.
Listen.
You mute.
I would like Barbados like that power to bring back my power that way want. That's what I would like. Are you here?
So
So
how you
my
wanna
lantern. Don't worry about that. I got my lantern on. I got my kerosene oil burning. I would like Barbados like the power to visit us in the parish of St. Andrew, if in you please, to give us back our power. All right, let me stop playing.
You got so the power way say.
Yeah, you know where it's going sometimes. Don't worry about that. Yeah, let me get this. Boy, it on. Praise Jesus.
Yeah,
Hallelujah. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. You know, Up Inside You, powered by Allery Media Productions. Good night, and welcome to another season. No, another episode is a season. No, another season of the Up Inside You podcast. Where each week we get up inside. Yeah, we get up inside your business. We get up inside your beliefs. We get up inside your bedroom, analyzing issues affecting Barbados and the world today. I am your host, Chad, and I got my three people here. So with me, I got Janelle down bottom. You got Keita above Janelle. You got Tyrone to the right. What going on?
We there.
Yo.
Yeah.
I seen this here about
we here.
Yeah, quite on top.
Oh, Tyrone is so down bottom. Yeah, I looking at it. Yeah. Tyrone
be looped up. So we still here to say we still here to say we're a new season. I will bring this show to you again, fresh, new show, new season. So getting on folks, everybody cool? 4 weeks going.
Yeah. I want to start by just saying that we had a rough couple of weeks. I hear some feedback though. Allery Media Production. Talk to me. Help me understand what's going on there. I get some feedback into my headphone. Yeah, we had a rough couple of weeks, as I was saying. So I think they're real distracting. I can't get my brains
around. Let me say now.
All right, go on now. All right, good.
Yeah, go on.
All right. So as I was saying, we had a rough past couple of weeks. We at the Up Inside Your team, we feverishly and profusely apologize for leaving you guys, and that all of this mayhem take place. We got that piece of the blame. I believe that I feel partially we got some blame to hold because we just swallowed this nation. And because we removed ourselves from the situation, we let off equilibrium, and all of these strange things that some old woman there, Elsa, passed through here, lit down this, mash up internet, mash up light up power, mash up water, all kind of things, right? But I want to say this here so to some people, you know, I just always fight for the people that ain't got no voice, right? And I really upset with how Barbadians took to the Facebook, Instagram, and the like. I get so hyped with Barbados Latent Power because of the fact that Elsa came, did some damage, some serious damage actually, and had us without power. Some of us for only a couple hours, others for days, some for weeks. Well, it was only 2 weeks in the end, 2 weeks and a day or two. But I saw people getting online and trying to castrate Barbados Latent Power, and then when their area was restored, all of a sudden that energy was gone, and there was still people suffering, especially in the deeper parts of the country, in the island that always going through the most. And I was not seeing the outpouring of, we ain't off from the backs until everybody get back online, everybody back with power. And this is always the reason why that we as a people don't become a community. Because when we meet, when we go ahead, we forget about everybody else that in the struggle. And I got a real serious problem with that. I know how I want to feel about it, but for me, I remember seeing all of them things posting every day on Facebook, every day on WhatsApp, every day on IG. Where am I like? Where am I like? Where am I like? For anything people get late, I ain't seeing them talking about, oh, but St. Joseph ain't get back late yet. St. Joseph without water. St. Joseph without internet. I ain't seeing there, so I ain't seen there for St. John. I ain't seen there for St. Peter. I ain't seen there for St. Andrew. I ain't seen there for St. Lucy. Why we so disjointed? Why we so self-absorbed? Where are we this way? Talk, chime in there with one of the thoughts, people. Help me understand what's going on, man.
I see you might call me. I understand your position. I must say that I was not affected for an extended period of time, but the we didn't keep the same energy over the weekend. Did not carry through to support the ones in St. Joseph and St. John and St. Peter and St. Lucy who would have been without electricity for weeks. I had one friend that was out, as you said, for 2 weeks and 2 days. She was without electricity. She had to come with me to press and stuff like that. And when I saw them posting about their grievances, I did sympathize and empathize with them because you know, people were talking about that whole toxic positivity that it could have been worse. It could have been worse. But for those persons going so long without electricity, that was pretty bad for them. So I understood and I identified with it somewhat. But as I said, they didn't have to suffer. But we are not unified. So what were people doing to help them? So as I said, like, I opened my house. So if anybody, I had a neighbor who had a generator. They have a generator and they charge our devices over the weekend. And the same way, when I got my electricity, I told my people, you could come by me and you could charge your things at Sahara. But many people were not having taken that to the social media thing. So some people might have been doing things like me, but others would have been like, well, I got my electricity, you know, so life goes on. And they went on. I ain't heard nobody saying that, you know, you could come and store your meats and whatever, but me and stuff like that, I didn't see anybody with those posts. I did see some people giving away ice in Oystens. And then a whole set of people would purchase ice from the show, Pure the Sunday. And then the next weekend too, I think it was. So yeah, the Sunday right after. But I don't know if they were, you know, like if you buy a bag, you get the other bag free or half price or something like that. Those are things that we would have seen them doing, or I thought we would have seen them doing. But like some part did come on and they said that they would have extended, you know, assistance to those people, and I was grateful for that. I think the government should do some more for the St. Joseph and especially St. Joseph people who have been suffering for. The people born in that, you choose to live in St. Joseph, just like that. That's you born and bred and stuff like that, and you have to endure no water plus no electricity for so long. So I really think that more should be done for them. But I take your position,
fellas.
I can say that I see both sides of the circumstance. There was a lot of frustration expressed. It was a joke for me, to be honest, because I was having the same issues in both places where I am, because I'm generally home where I live or with my girlfriend's house in the north, and she had it a lot worse than me because we had power in south in about 3 days, but hers went on for like almost 2 days, 2 to 3 days afterwards, come to think of it. And my daughter is here, so I was really, really concerned for that, for the power, especially with the, oh my God, the mosquitoes. So that was the major issue. So exactly. So I kind of made it a joke. It was funny. I played it off. I saw the humorous side to it, but I could also hear the frustration from people, and the perspective of it could have been worse rings home with me completely. It rings home with me completely. But as well, I feel like sometimes crises are used to cover certain misgivings or shortcomings with organizations too. And
Indeed.
we can't look past that. We can't look past that.
Mhm.
And for that, I don't want to criticize the Barbados Island Power in any significant way, but I will say that they have probably been rightly so given the a wake-up call. I would hope it is to their network, or how they have their network set up, and what the requirements may be. Because I will give you an example. There's a house from where I am right now in the north. There's a villa, a rental villa, directly over the other side of the road. There are no lines at all run to that building. None at all. No lines run to that building. And they had electricity all the while. The area out here had none. So we had to be in here suffering heat and mosquitoes every night. And across the road, we could see light, and we can hear TV, and we can hear radio and that kind of thing. So in a hurricane threatened zone, I understand there is cost attached to it, but we need to look at certain things. Because I understand there's another area of well-off people in Barbados, Rolling Hills, I'm saying that's in St. George, that also most of the houses don't have wires run to them. And I would expect that they probably had a very short, if a break in transmission of electricity at all. So we need to look into other options in terms of running these lines, because we don't have the best infrastructure with these poles that are pretty old and could fall. It could be blown down and that kind of thing. So if you can maintain power as long as possible, because without power, so much other things come without power. So power is something that you should try to maintain as much as possible. And in hurricane threatened zones like the Caribbean in general, we need to really take another look as to how we build and set up communities with regards to like the infrastructure as it relates to power.
Yeah,
that's my take.
I want to kind of echo most of what Tyrone said. What I can say is I think that both the Barbados Water Authority and the Barbados Land Power have been doing a pretty decent job. With it, I was out of power for 5 days and 16 hours and
35 down to a T. Jeez, wow.
23 seconds. I had it right down.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a long period of time, and it was real concern. It had deep freeze, and St. Philip. It was weird because like St. Philip got so much of those subdivisions and different lineage and so on. Like literally, the people across the road from me, they come back on, and they have it 2 days after they come back on for me to come back on. It was a whole shebang. And I can understand that, natural disasters happen all over the world. And usually, I'm not saying that we may be on the scale to compare ourselves to a bigger country, but, for what we have, it was relatively quick for most persons. I would say 90% of Barbados to receive their power back. Because within a week after a natural disaster, it's expected that you get back that for power to be back is a plus, because usually you would see like a week and a half, 2 weeks before people get their power back. But for persons that have been waiting over 2 weeks and so on to get back power or even water, that's ridiculous, because it's like it gotta be so tough in 2021 in a world where everything is technology or some sort of advancement, and you need power to do almost anything. You need power to even pump water at these pumping stations that you can't get up. You can't operate, but it's still good that I see people out there in communities helping one another. I mean, we're one person a lot, another person, because it wasn't all bad. I have my challenges. I know Chad had challenges. I try to coordinate with Chad to do certain things because I know Chad was close to me at the time. So if Chad was going for ice, I would stay at home. If I was going for ice, I would check in with Chad. We would work around and that's our thing. So I know people over there have been helping one another. People that are pulling meat for one another and all starting. So everything on the bag. Yeah, pulling meat. Yeah, but people were pulling meat.
I miss them though. I miss them.
yeah, so people was doing this sort of things. You know, it showed good community spirit. You know, like coming on to the end where like I would take people across the road from me or people behind me, how about power? People were still running extension cords and helping other people who in high power, that sort of it. It was good to see community spirit in some aspects. Because you know there's still got people out there that don't care about nothing at all. One thing about power they good. But people was I have multiple people reach out to me. Day I will post day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. People will like, yo, you need anything charge, you need anything do, you need any help. And I appreciate that, but I am very thankful that we do have power back. You never know what could happen. People have had bigger disasters gone 3-4 weeks before us. I'm thankful, man.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know, before you way back in, I forgot to mention that that a lot of the issues that we had with the poles would have been from the weight of the telecommunication lines as well. So like some part was saying that because of the work that how the telecommunications persons would have gone, and because anything above the street light is like some power, but the things below the street light are the telecommunications. And you will see, I passed and I saw like enough wires just mangled and things together underneath the street light. So I don't know what then would be the plan, because these are things, because when mine popped a couple like last month or something like that, nobody took down the old one. So I'm sure that they still got cable that up from with the people to get internet from them that flow the purchase Columbus. What the people before the Columbus people was Carib something. I'm sure they still got wires up from them. Y'all know what I mean?
I think Karen Wires versus flow, and then she was flow.
No, did I had that
she
brought
talking about like the old boxes that they used to have to go up on the poles and change out things or add things when people get in the service.
I am sure that all them things still up.
Yeah, of course.
I am sure. Nobody ain't taking none of them old wires or anything like that nobody ain't using.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know, that's something that should have been done. But this is Barbados, and as Keita said constantly, publicly and privately, Barbados is not a real place. And we don't move proactive, we move reactive, because common sense should tell you if you upgrading from copper wiring and so on to what do you call it now, to fiber and these sorts of things, you should remove the old one, which will be basically a waste of time, a waste of space, and a hazard in the end, and put up what you're using or what is current, so that there's space.
Tyrone was really alluding towards going on the ground or not the over techniques of wiring throughout the country. I think that in 2020 that going forward we should look in where we take the country on the ground. It will group a lot of people's pavements, like walls, all sorts of different things, but it's for the better, it's for the greater good. And it will be costly, because this is saying that we should be phasing in like any new development, that building should have on the ground power, as opposed to everything is still overhead.
Don't forget though that $407 million missing, so the because everything is money. Wow. But they misfind money, and money is disappear. So what they can't do saying for the betterment of this island, because if it's an island that any point in time, or we suffer with a rainy season. Some seasons we get through easy, where that storm come in, prepare when itself, then it blow over, or it dies down and it passes us as regular rain, whatever. But because you have an island that is in the way of the storms being created in the African Sea coming up the road, you should think about these things, long-term things. So like getting rid of the poles, getting rid of the wiring, that's one less thing to worry about when storms come. I mean, come on, we gotta be proactive and stop looking at dollar amounts, because dollar amounts gonna always be spending. They're gonna go what is call it no man? They got certain things in my head. Like whenever the talk to me. Tell me what it is. You know the budget. When the budget and thing come out, the most compartmentalize the money that we just borrow from all boat. Put some money towards these things and at least get the project started. It doesn't have to be done all one time, but get it started. That way the bill don't be $2 billion in the long run.
I agree with that, but like the project is like taking power on the ground. It will take some time and it will be costly. So I understand you can't do it all at once, but when you budgeting for a loan or to get funds to do that, you gotta show like projection as to what's gonna be done at what particular time and so on. So yeah, it all can't be done at once, but we know how costly it can be. But you gotta put yourself in a position where you can do that. Enough debt as a country already, and I ain't got the most confidence that we could budget ourselves in a way to do this effectively enough to cut down costs and still run the country. Now we see what happened when I look about here, how much money the government spending Ashby to deal with Ash. I don't know how that work out or logistics of that. I would like to see the breakdown on that.
Shaking the head.
But listen, you see that same house that they up on the hill in St. George? You know that house out there up on the hill in St. George that belong to a certain man that they say they're involved in that Clico scandal? All of that there, so is money that we could be snatching up from people, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to call names like, you know, like Gallus and the Paris and like Leroy Paris, but for as far as I'm concerned, I feel like it's time for these people to be held accountable. They got money about here, dog. You can't tell me that they may got money. I know they got money about here. So funnel it in the right ways to advance us and make us better as a people and a nation, and stop thieving the so and so money. That's how I feel. We gotta stop making these excuses for these governments that coming in, these people that coming in, because money always disappearing. Money that could be going towards fixing roads, creating better infrastructure, creating what is called, you know, the think tanks to make us better as a nation. We got all the common sense in the world and the education in the world, but we ain't applying it. So
applying to Stephen.
Tyrone,
right, applying it to Stephen, yeah.
Yeah, they're applying it to Stephen. They've been applying it to anything. Look, $750,000 Barbados giveaway for small island, big Barbados. $750,000, and then after that was brought into the public forum, discarded by the public as stupidity. Nobody questioned if we can get back $750,000, because obviously that can happen, because obviously it was a contracted term and a contracted amount. People go along happy that their end result of their project was discarded, but they were still paid, and the government hired 18 people to come up with a new slogan and a new strategy that they're gonna get money down too, probably more than $750,000. So that is how it is run about here.
Yeah, man. Well, you know the taxes gotta get right off somehow, you know. So if we do foolishness with the money and write it off, we can always stay blessed. We pockets can always stay safe at it. So I believe that a lot of these things. A lot of the reasons why that these things occurs because we like America, we ain't get enough of the foolishness to the point that we want to do something seriously about it. Because places like Jamaica and Guyana, a lot of this foolishness will not be going on. Because people will get dragged out the houses, people will get chopped up, people will get killed, but these people can walk around safe because they know that the Barbadian community is a docile community. A passive-aggressive community.
Very. We can grumble and nothing can be done.
And adjust.
Yeah.
That's it. Grumble and adjust.
You can only do so much adjusting as a thing. Like, people are at a point right now where people really hit and rock bottom, and you can only adjust for so long. Everybody got a breaking point. Everybody does.
I think we actually headed towards it, to be honest.
And that's where our crime rate is increasing and stuff like that, like this, to this point where people are more bold in their steps because people are getting irate. It's just
desperate, that people are getting desperate.
That desperate, right? But it's just that the person's at the bottom. But what about the middle class and the working class, the middle class persons? we don't step up enough. You don't go and you don't fight for it. You don't say that enough is enough is enough. We just sit back, and as Charles said, we adjust. We just go with the flow. But in many things, well, you can't do that, but this here until all of what you have is taken from you, and you feel as though you have nothing left. That's the only time person is going to step up.
That is it. Normalcy bias is the issue. Normalcy bias is the issue because human beings psychologically, what we don't want disorder and chaos. We want to be comfortable and safe. So whatever is comfortable and safe, we will we will move towards that. So if we are experiencing a period of time where we are perceiving, even whether or not it's true, chaos and abnormality, and somebody dangles normalcy in front of us, we can try to block out the chaos as much as possible and gravitate towards the normalcy. That is what because that's what Janelle said. The middle class people they're not gonna be the first in the front lines and for anything because of that same normalcy bias. They want things to move back to normal as much as possible. So whatever is told to them to bring normalcy back or to see normalcy, they will try to see that and not see the actual crisis. Whereas people are important that feeling it. You can't tell them that because their way of life is pretty much abnormal and chaotic. So when it gets even more abnormal and chaotic, then they will be the first, or they would want to be the first to act or react.
Yeah, point taken. But what's normalcy again? Because we far from the word normal in Barbados. Like truthfully, I don't even know what normal is anymore. Normal, but we could relate to 2019. Like we could go back to 2019. Like where we are as a country right now is so confused over it. Like we've been on a little vacation from this show for the past 4 weeks. So much different things happening. I feel as though this is the longest 4 weeks of being a torture. I know it's weird though because a lot has happened. We shut back though. We open back up. We shut back though. Cheese on bread. We back on curfew. Last thing we talked about on this show, we were telling people about curfew dead. We was getting that it. We was ready to enjoy and celebrate the freedom that they get back to the little freedom. And I think we had like a week of freedom.
Yeah, for a week.
Yeah, a couple of days after the what was it? What do you think the name of Haywire? After Haywire, then a couple of days after that, we the back on lockdown.
Haywire came and then everything went Haywire. It was interesting seeing footage. It was interesting seeing the footage and information from Haywire. And then quick after Haywire, cases back up, COVID back in we skin. And our life was just back on the outrage. And 2021, like the rest of the world live with COVID. COVID has impacted everybody all over the world, but people are learning to live with COVID. COVID is here to stay. COVID is a part of life, but every time we have some form of
spike in cases, we shut in. We curfewing again.
We got curfew. Because me and my partner did you say to yesterday that COVID don't let the sun.
Don't let 11 o'clock.
It want to come out at night. It's come out at night.
It's just a means of control. Everything is just a means of control. I tell you, like what has happened with this pandemic has been means of control.
Don't even get me started. Go ahead, sorry.
It's to show up that democracy is not a thing.
I've
been on this show saying that we live in a socialist democracy. If you didn't know it before, you didn't understand it before, you gotta know it. No, you gotta get that this is a socialist state. Your rights. So it's just a means of control. You trying to control certain things, and the same crimes are happening. People shooting one of them broad daylight. You want to restrict people moving and stuff like that, kids to drop out. We want to restrict people movement and stuff like that, and they're still doing what they gotta do. So it's just a means of control. Because is there anything that you're telling me that 11 to 5 that is going to help reduce anything? Yeah, there's nothing about it that then the science behind it. All right, and then even when it comes to the science,
Same
you see,
science
like even with that,
And the fact that we get the numbers that they wanted.
Huh?
And don't forget the numbers that they wanted for the herd immunity. So if we have herd immunity, why are we still locking down? Well, curfewing, not locking down. Why are we curfewing?
Curfewed. Why? And then people want to make a point with vaccine and unvaccinated. This and I said that's not that ain't the issue right now. It's just means of control.
You see, when people when we stop trying to. Sorry, go ahead, Keda. Sorry.
Like this was just emphasizing like point as though I feel as though the second wave of vaccine forcing point coming just now. I could see within next couple of weeks that we can get hit with some huge mandate where vaccine can get shoved down your throat, and I can tell you you gotta take it. It's coming. You can see it coming.
Yeah.
You see it coming.
Correct.
You can see it
Once
coming.
we seeing this,
I want all
circumstance-
teachers to go and get
I know Charlotte Tyrantana.
we stop saying circumstance.
I mean, Chad, you know either hearing it coming. Buzz, teacher.
They try and low you.
Go.
Sorry. I was just saying that when we stop seeing it for what we're being told it is, and we stop and start seeing it for what it actually is, what we wanted to do will happen. We want it to make sense. Make it make sense. And the only time that is going to begin to make sense is when we stop seeing this for a health crisis and see this for as an economical and structural change. That is what's happening. If you see that the economy is being shaped towards dependent on the state by eliminating lower and middle income businesses really and people in that area that would be free to not depend on the government and make their own way in life, you're creating government and elite people that got money already and everybody else that is dependent on them. That's what's happening. That's why those people over the course of the last 16 to 17 months, you've seen locally Massey telling you in newspaper record profits overseas. Walmart, Amazon, those people record profits.
It is a fact.
Not just me saying so, Google it.
Yes.
Record profits, and the corner shops can't open. Some people, barber shops and nail studios and clothes stores got shut down. It ain't happening in Barbados. It's happening all across the world. It is economic change and social change. I don't even expect to see social up on the hill again. That size crowd will give people anxiety now.
Yes.
People, they will start to hyperventilate. They actually got what is being called COVID. It is see that crowd. Forests are going in. Society is gonna be changed. You can't interact with so much people. This is your limit of interaction space. If you hear some of the regulations that were given to the people in Australia recently, if you see a neighbor, don't talk to your neighbor, keep your head straight. I'm talking about politicians literally telling people this. Over 5 cases in Australia that we are bigger than Barbados. That's why I stand with people. I stand right now with the people that are on the streets in France, in Martinique, and Italy, and in Greece, and who were on the streets in Denmark and in England a few weeks ago. But that same thing that Kate just talked about there, I expect when the good lady comes on the next press conference for she to be saying something very similar to what Emmanuel Macron said about 2 days ago as it relates to mandating the drug. I expect it to come from her mouth because everybody is on board with this.
Jonesy. I'm gonna tell you something.
It's a long chat.
So when I seen dumbfounded by what Tyrone talking about and use a girl Janelle that you got you her and you post to that of the what the people that consider conspiracy theory. But I mean, if it's walk like a duck, quack like a duck, and shit like a duck, it gotta be a duck.
It gotta be.
So let me be real here. If we enjoying a certain level of freedom because of compliance, and then as Tyrone said and as Keita said, they come a few weeks later to say, all right, well look, you know, we were giving people the opportunity to come forward and get the job under the circumstances of, yeah, you know who she thought, and they can't really do it and in that mental space to do it perfect right now because they just tired. Like they tired of the word COVID, I tired of the word curfew, and all of these words begin with C. And it just upsetting me because C is one of my favorite letters. Huh? You said what?
I said chat too.
That's exactly my point.
I wasn't thinking child when he mentioned see that stove, but
No,
yeah,
I
okay.
wasn't thinking child either. I meant for
Right.
another that's a word.
Because
France,
it's
Fair enough.
COVID and curfew and what you see now?
another
Another cup,
right?
another cup, but
A hard K, a hard C.
that little too left there for me. You're going a little too left there so for me.
Yeah, but what you're saying, Chad, we just saying though. I want to hear you were saying that was gonna come because we could see it coming.
Right. So the right. So before it was you exercising your right to choose. You know, you come forward on your yeah, give me it. But the people who have not come forward and the names that have not been recorded, you know, all of them there. So soon gonna go forward to collect the stamp. You know, so
Yeah, you get true.
how
criminals,
would it keeping a job? We're gonna issue with things that can pierce hoisted. All right, Brian. Well,
Yeah.
you saying we have mosquitoes pierce your skin if the people who are in prison and somebody walk up there and get a job, you're gonna hold it. So
Wow.
if the man did it, my brother,
Whoa.
what you gonna do? Are you willing? Are you
Whoa.
willing?
Whoa.
Child, I know Jarwaki they're doing that. I never said it that way. But anyhow, we had a couple road fatalities on the road, man. Recently.
I actually wanted to mention that. You go ahead, Chad, so I can.
Huh?
Yeah, I actually wanted to my friend's funeral is tomorrow. Lemar Blitz. Lemar Blitz would have passed away on the 11th of July.
This is the two fellas. He was one of the two fellas. Okay.
Yes, please. So his mom, I actually would have worked with her for some years, and I didn't meet him through her, but we became friends other ways. But his mother at school, my mother and stuff like that, and although because I don't go much, so he had this thing. His dad was an officer, and he was responsible for traffic and stuff like that, and that was his passion. And Lemar had these things that he can't get in the car without putting on his seatbelt, and your parents is and stuff like that. So for that to happen, children that you lose these things happen, but to lose your child that way would have been devastating. But his dad, because of his training now, on the other hand, really managed through it pretty well. But I honestly I want to extend condolences to his family, to his mother and sisters and his niece and nephew. He believed in his niece and nephew. He loved his family, loved his friends, like for real. Some people say that they were a good stranger, whatever, but he loved people to a fault, So my heart is with them. Tomorrow's the funeral. Today was the viewing.
I want to say condolences. I want to say condolences to all these families the person's lost in hospitality. Yeah. Only possible.
And one
I've seen so much pictures, videos, all sort of things. It was crazy. It was for sure. But I don't know what
has me
caused these accidents or what was that.
Before you even get to the cause of them, right? What really has me is the fact that we have really gone to that point where we don't care about the dead or their family or anything like that. I have students who have told me that they legit people don't really care anymore about dying, right? But when I saw the mangled car and then the other one, the accident the day before, that you could see the person in the vehicle, and then the guy who was shot the other day. I mean, like you're circulating the videos and stuff like that. Like people don't really care anymore. They don't care about anybody's family. There is one image that has stood with me since I was 10 or 11 years old. Tyrone, remember? Chad, remember? I'm not sure if Keith remember, but of Amanda, the girl that was wrapped up, and the guy had thrown her in the well.
Yeah.
In Christchurch, right? I will never forget. That happened. It's back Italy. That happened the same time. That World Cup. So that would have been 1994 World Cup. Yes, right. That image on the front of the Advocate newspaper has stayed with me, of her body wrapped up and stuff like that. No, it's commonplace. Children there, a man dead in the street in Black Rock, and children there standing up on the side of the road, being videotaped, being there, because it's normal now. It's normal to go up on white collar crime and the this and that and whatever, and see these videos and pictures, and not even just those, on Nation News as well. It has become so commonplace, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Desensitized. Desensitized. We are completely and totally desensitized because of the different forms of media that we take in. So, like, seeing death is nothing now.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing people having sex is nothing now.
That's so true.
You're always looking for the next and the next fantastic thing to see, because certain things now are so like commonplace, as you said. Is nothing. Like sometimes when I was small, at my age, you see some people like kissing it on TV too much, and they start to hug up and think fast. Their mother can tell you, "Go you back," you know, that kind of way. "You go you back," or something like that. They die for you, or something to that effect, or change channel or something like that. But that ain't happening now. Children can see that kind of stuff. And advertisements on TV, two women kissing, two men kissing. So it's nothing new. It's total desensitizing, and we head into a new paradigm right now, and people don't really see it holistically. But it's a new paradigm in a lot of things.
So Tyrone, you believe that the crack the code of giving life to clones and things? No, because that's the only way forward. Because if the push out my brain here like it free, man. Right? If you push out what we is now, heterosexuality. If you push out that, and a man and a woman no longer need to come together to create life, then that means that it creates or it opens the opportunity for this paradise now of same sex and that sort of thing.
Yeah, gender neutrality. Gender neutrality, yes. There are incubators that can grow children right now. If you have once you have the cells and the egg, you can put them inside of that and grow, and the child will grow like it's in a womb. So you don't really need human beings to come together for sex anymore to actually reproduce. So you need for human beings.
And where that has come from? But what that
need for human beings? Well, listen.
Where that come from? Don't forget that we hear multiple stories from like things like Superman and stuff, where we would when they would have said that people were being genetically engineered for a particular purpose, and like Janelle getting a baby, and that baby could become anything in the world. Is that when Janelle put this egg here, and whoever put his sperm there, this child getting engineered to be a farmer. The next child getting engineered to be a lawyer. The next one getting engineered to be this or that. So you see, those sort of far-fetched theories really cross the corner here from me, you know.
They may even cross the corner, child. Just Google designer babies. Just Google designer babies, and you will see. It's right. It's not far-fetched. It's right here, right now.
Right.
Designer babies.
You know,
Just
it's
know
the
a man
only
and a
thing
woman
that's
coming
stopping
together
some
gonna
of
be
them.
legal. That gonna be legal. Just know you get a baby. You and he get together and make a baby. That baby got dead. That way gonna come into
China.
just know.
China. That is China.
Jesus, please.
That is China. Got too much of this and too much of that, and you know you can't have this or that, and then you
Have
kill
all
the.
this.
You got too much females, kill them off,
I
rape
have
over
to
them, all
crack
kind
some
of stripping. This
heads.
used to happen. It used to happen in Southern China at one point.
Yeah,
If it still
but
ain't
I
happening.
dropping them in the rivers and stuff like that, throwing them over
Yeah.
cliffs all sorry, madness.
Yeah, you get a girl baby.
Yeah,
Once you
they
got a
actually
girl
have
child.
their actually they have to. They're going back on that now. They have to go full circle with that policy because they would have
Yeah, because it slowed down the population growth.
too much. Yeah, yes. But I was watching that one of the same things on Netflix on the same designer babies, and the only thing that's really stopping these people is a moral compass. These scientists from pushing the envelope even further, because they don't know what then would be the result of it. But if somebody got enough money and thing, it's only right now that the ones who got the most money in the world trying to get out of this off the planet. But if their eyes were on genetically modified
Nonsense.
humans, will be happening. It would have become already normal. But the ones that
But
the
listen,
money
you know
all
what
their
I'm saying,
eyes in a
Janelle?
different direction.
But Janelle, you see what you're talking about? I want everybody in here to understand that these billionaires and multi-billionaires do not do anything because they're bored. These men is be doing things for a purpose and with a purpose. So if when I think right, that then what he pictured in there 2012. Remember when it was 2012 that the name that the people or that was a different picture when it was something to do again on a what the spaceship the name had a real significant name too. The art, I think
about...
near the art, the picture, the something to do.
You mean when the guy to
moving,
wake up in it?
I can't remember if I'm mixing up the pictures, but there was. You remember there was some picture where they say, I think 2012 was the one when that there was predicting that a solar flare was gonna come and hit the Earth and wipe out all life. But there was another one where that certain people were paying millions of dollars for a seat on this spaceship, the Ark, to leave Earth because Earth was basically dying.
Yeah, I remember that. True.
But I can't remember. Right. So
vaguely recall.
That was in 2012.
I vaguely recall. Oh, I really vaguely recall.
It was in 2012, but
a different agenda. That's what I was saying. That's what I mean. That their agenda is a little different because if their agenda was on the genetically modifying humans, then we would see a different thing happening right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm not exactly sure of their agenda, but we know that there is something. There is an agenda there, so behind it.
My perspective on that whole thing with Branson and Bezos heading to space is that suffice to say the world is a stage, really and truly, and I don't think that there's no ultimate plan in terms of transportation or travel logistic wise. I think that was similar to what happened in the 60s. That was a grandiose staged event. Well, if you just by comparative analysis, go and take a look at Dr. Evil, Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. Take a look at his rocket and go and take a look at Jeff Bezos' rocket. Take a look at the pictures. Just in case you don't know, Dr. Evil's rocket was shaped like a phallus. Take a look at Jeff Bezos' rocket.
Same one, yeah.
And two of them look alike too, right?
Yeah.
The world is a stage. The world is a stage. Trust me. The world is a stage.
That's exactly why I'm holding this pose right now. Dr.
The
Evil.
world
All
is
right,
a
you.
stage.
All right, you.
I know Google it and I see it for sure, yeah. And I remember
The
seeing the
world
memes.
is a stage. Trust and believe the world is a stage. These people is do things because they can do it, and because you and me and can say, "Oh man, don't pay him no mind," but they would do
Yeah.
it just to put up their middle finger to the idiots because they ain't gonna believe it even if we show it to them in the face.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
So Taiwan, what we gonna do, boy? What we gonna do?
We got Stephen spine. That's the first thing we gotta do. And what
Let's
we
play
what we
beat.
don't want, what we're not gonna stand
Oh, no, you
for,
mean about
draw
birds.
the line. Draw the line there and say we are going no further than here. We are going no further than here.
Mm.
Because
But can we?
I like
But
that.
can
too much
we
people
draw
are
the line?
censoring right now. Huh? Of course we
Do
can
we
draw the
have
line.
the balls?
Of course we can draw the
Do we
line.
have the balls to draw the line?
That is the question though. That is the question though. Because people don't like to be ostracized, they don't like to stand out, they like
Right.
to be on the side of that's what everybody else
Fit
doing and
in,
feel
yeah,
comfort
fit in,
and feel
yeah.
comfort in that. They don't want to be like, oh that but that's but they don't want that uncomfortable feeling of people saying, man, you talking about on everybody against you, they don't like that feeling. Whether or not what you are saying is your conviction and something that you know to be true, hold your ground. Hold your ground. And that's what we got. We got Stephen respond and don't care about what the masses are doing because that is exactly how sheep operate.
Mhm.
We have this hold our ground. This is my body. This is my autonomy, bodily autonomy. And this is ground that is standing right here. Going no further than this because if we don't stop by the end of next year, for example, we can be in a circumstance where we don't even know what freedom is. We can gotta be ready to see when the next directives come out to see if we could go to the bathroom to bed tomorrow morning.
Whenever you feel it. Yeah. It coming.
Yo, that's sad. And you know, it's so weird that we just start about this show today and time's so going. We know start talking and look at the time already be.
Time already.
We got
Yeah.
5 minutes in show be, but I want to say a big shout out to everybody in chat. Janelle, you don't think that we would have passed through. You got to New Year stuff on the man, and you always tell the man then just say they would have New Year on the man. I ain't say a word.
Barely hit so when on. The other day,
Yeah,
you say somebody here to shave off and I go home braids.
So you that means that you ain't outside in on it in public walking boat, or that was another topic for another time.
Me being outside.
In a bonnet.
Who?
Because you know that's a big issue now all over.
Yeah, I see. Samuel's man had a whole thing about it a time. You women believe in the bonnet. The city humidity. This I live this here all my life, so I don't see the difference between what they experiencing at 15 years old and now at 30 something. Bonnet what?
Yeah, but big up with some people in chat, man. We appreciate one for coming up tonight for sure. We are back.
Shout out, Shan.
Late.
Yes.
We are back.
But honestly,
we back late. Who we back late?
Late.
Arnold?
Not late.
Skin clean, man. Not a mark.
Not Mark.
We back like not a mark.
We back late for you too, man.
Yes, we are back.
Like, share, comment. We back.
New
we
season,
back,
who
we
this?
back. It's a new season. We got a lot of things to discuss this season. It's good to be back because we have so much that we got to catch up on. 4 weeks gone by and so much has happened, but we are back here with the people of Barbados. We are back with the people of the world, YouTube. So make sure you like the video before you left. Comment, share, subscribe to the page if you
Please.
Yes, please. But we actually people know like to remember a lot of people signing coming on here so and you say here so not
everybody
for
put
this.
me.
Yeah.
Not for
But
we had a little,
I'm late.
yeah, we had a hiccup with the dates and everything.
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
some people were thinking that we were starting back last week, but that was actually the fourth Thursday that we were to be resting. Let me tell you something. I didn't need that rest. I am sure that my co-hosts need the rest as well. Not Tyrone, because he knows turn to work. But he get what he is. But I didn't need that rest. Let me tell you something. aside
Uh,
from Elsa,
and if you were
COVID, the curfew, gun violence, all that thing, I had so much drama that had me coming home late, like almost every night of those 2 to 3 weeks before during the vacation time. Bare stress. And I was thinking about coming on here and venting about it and talking about it, but we get caught up on Barbados Light and Power and thing, and I just like slide. So
light on power.
Light and Power, no, that's my favorite thing to hear. Wait, said BLP stand for what? They just like pistons. So yeah, man. Big up everybody. We the miss man. I glad that we back. The energy a little low for me tonight cause I tired.
Yeah.
I actually need a vacation right
Listen,
now
we
from the
all
vacation
rush
that we
home
had.
tonight, though.
But then again, I know remember you up on vacation, what Jeanette?
I went on a pamper run.
I am
And
on
a
vacation.
restaurant.
Yeah, remember you was at school. We all rush home.
Oh,
I am. Tomorrow is my last day of school.
School?
9 to
Oh,
4.
nice.
Yeah.
Listen.
So
and
yes, work
and
might
then
be
what?
closed, but the studying. I have to
What?
plan my internship. I have an internship next term, so I got a lot of work to plan. So don't think that I just want to in my fingers.
Did
But
what?
it's still good to not go be dealing with
The people are hard as children.
Sure
I
want
don't
to
mind
say.
that.
Sure want to say.
I don't mind my children though. Is everybody else. I just don't be both it. But yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
actually
need
miss
a
my
vacation.
Huh?
I need a vacation.
Honestly though, I would like another 4 weeks, guys. I'm sorry. But yes,
Real
I know Chad, you seem to have been off the map. Barely scurrying here. I know that's Keita Norm. Tyrone, I not being pretty gross today too.
Crazy man. If I was to really detail, that would be a whole hour in itself. You
But we
know?
can
Well,
we can plan
I
around
am
this.
happy to be back. I'm happy to be back. I don't need another vacation. I'm happy to be back right here at UpInsideYuh. I am
Yeah,
happy.
you
Happy to this little club here that we got here game. You know, I happy here. I'm back life. I done 4 weeks. I don't heard it. Before you know it, we can buy it.
It did. Sexual harassment. We are going to be speaking about things that matter in this. We're going to be speaking about things that matter in this community. For sure. It has to happen. And I'm hoping that by, this weekend comes, everybody gets rested. I talking about my co-host because I'm not, but then again, the chat too, because the chat, the kind of